Hi, my name is Sarah. I have lucid psychic dreams, and I'm going to tell you the answers to the top 5 most asked questions here on my channel. The first is, are dreams real? Are we really going someplace? Are we astral traveling? What do I believe? I want to say that I definitely believe that dreams are real and touching into something. I kind of believe in more of a time travel situation, that maybe we exist outside of time when we're dreaming, that our souls are going someplace else. I do believe that we could be in parallel universes. I think that's a really big one. And when I have been lucid in my dreams or like astral traveling, and I have left the dream space that I woke up in, a lot of times I do find myself in sort of a talking to entities and experiencing parallel universes or parallel dimensions type vibe. Now, these are dreams, so I could be making them up in my head, and I'm always going to hold space for the fact that I just have a very overactive imagination. It could just be that, but I also have dreams that come true in this reality, in this world. I will literally have premonition dreams. I have dreams about things that I couldn't possibly know, and then I know them. So I do feel that it is somehow connected to this reality, and I'm not entirely sure the depth of that, but I am more inclined to believe that perhaps we are outside of time when we are dreaming. The second question is usually, how do I start lucid dreaming? So I have been lucid dreaming since I was a kid, and I don't have a great plan to teach you how to start, but what I can say is that dream journaling is really important. And it's very, very important to be doing reality checks. And those are both when you're asleep and when you're awake. When you are asleep and you realize that you are in a dream, most people just get scared awake. It is very frightening. It would be like if right now, as you are watching this video and you think that you're here scrolling on TikTok, you suddenly looked up and you realize that you're like in a swimming pool. You've been swimming the whole time and you don't know how you got there. It would be really, really frightening. I don't even think that people can understand how frightening it can be if you are not prepared for it. And so you have to be able to hold your energy within yourself, like with you, while you're going through that fear, and sort of accept it, embrace it, and be there in order to remain in the dream. So doing reality checks, like where am I? Who am I? What year is it? That's a really good start. And then also just grounding yourself, knowing like I am here, I am me, whatever is going on externally, like I am experiencing it, I will be okay. The third question I get is, who are the dream police and why are they always waking us up? So I only know my personal experience. The dream police kind of act like handlers for me. Sometimes I can talk to them. Most of the time they are not human. They're like inhuman sort of alien creatures. I don't even want to call them alien. For a long time I considered them to be like the Fae or something, but they're just not human. Sometimes they speak other languages. Sometimes, usually they have very high cheekbones and kind of smaller eyes and smaller mouths than humans, but look humanoid otherwise. Most of the time they tell me that the reason that I'm not allowed to be there or be awake is because I attract some sort of energy or entities that are like not good and want to like feed off of my energy, and it disrupts sort of the natural balance of their world. But yeah, that is what I am told by the dream police. Usually it's just that I'm not supposed to be wherever I am. And I understand that, because sometimes when I'm in dreams, it'll be like a conveyor belt style where everybody's almost like we're on a ride through like a freaking roller coaster or a haunted house or something. And when I become aware, it's almost like the ride's breaking down and everybody else's dreaming can't go through the dream. I know that sounds crazy. You can listen to some of my dream stories and I go into detail about that, but a lot of times that's the way that it feels, is like it's almost a disruption or an energetic disruption in the space. The fourth question I get asked is, how long is the longest I've ever been in a dream? So the longest that I have ever felt that I was in a dream was about 6 months. I had a dream. I thought that the first dream that I was in was real and that I had had some sort of a medical emergency, was in a coma. So I believed that I had to wake myself up or someone was going to pull the plug and I was going to die. But I was really, really happy, and I was in this other world. It was another like dimension, parallel universe. It had stores and states and cities and cars and like brand names, all of which I didn't recognize. I was telling them about stuff from this world. They didn't know what I was talking about, but everybody was like human. I had a boyfriend, I had a sister, I had a dog, I had a mom, I had this really cute house, and I would like obsessively draw stuff. I was stuck there for like 6 months. Sorry, needed to take a sip there for a second, but and when I finally woke up from that dream, I had only actually been asleep for about 2 hours, and it was devastating. It took me like therapy and weeks to get over the shock of just like leaving And I felt like the reason that I had to leave that place where I was so happy, I was living this life for 6 months, going to bed, waking up, going to a therapist, like having friends, like eating dinner, playing with my dog, going for walks, drawing, reading my diaries. I had diaries and mirrors, taking showers. Like, I remember all of these memories from this other place, and I knew that it was a dream, but I thought I had to wake up. And then to find out that I didn't, I probably could have lived like a whole life there in one night if I just stayed asleep and not woken myself up. That was devastating. And the fifth one is, how do I remember all of my dreams so clearly, so vividly? Because if you listen to my story times, then you know that I am literally, it's like I experienced it yesterday and I'm telling you what happened earlier today, and it's a dream. And I know a lot of people don't experience dreams that way, but for me, one of my tips or tricks or things that I do is I remember remembering. So for instance, there have been times where I am experiencing something really profound and I know that I'm not supposed to bring the information back with me, or like I'm not going to be able to, or it's something that maybe the dream police don't want me to remember. And what I do is, instead of trying to hold on to that information and remember what the information is, I remember remembering about it. I remember that I need to remember. And it seems to be some sort of loophole that allows me to remember the dreams in like perfect clarity and detail. So there are times that I've woken up from dreams being like, I wasn't supposed to come back with this information, but then I remembered the remembering. So then I did have the information, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you're in a dream and you're able to become lucid and you feel like you're not supposed to know something, or like you're experiencing all this stuff and it's like, how am I going to remember this when I wake up? You can try, if you can, in that moment to remember remembering there in the dream. And then a lot of times when you wake up, you'll remember that thought process. It's kind of like a workaround in the brain that I think I don't actually fully remember the exact, like the direct experience. I'm remembering the remembering of the direct experience. I'm sorry, I know that's very confusing, but that's the best way that I can describe it. And that is my top 5 asked questions.